It's Mark Yegi. Welcome back to another weekly stock market update. Today is June 6, 2024. Let's jump right into it. I hope you guys are doing great. We've got a red market, but I think today it's transitioning to a yellow. We have to wait and see what the close says for the day. But let's take a look and see what's going on with the market. Let's see. I don't know if it's that screen. Why do I do this every week to myself? Hang on a second. Give me a second. Don't be quitting on me. Yeah, it says it's running this PowerPoint slideshow. Yeah, that's right. Hopefully you can see that. Anyway, bottom line is we are 3 reds or 2 reds and 2 greens if you look at it, or 3 reds and 1 green. This market is kind of doing a little head fakey kind of thing. It had a red for maybe just over a week, and there were some shorting opportunities in there. The market's kind of looking better right now. So we're looking at maybe a yellow by the end of the day, which could put us into a green like early next week, mid next week, most likely. Let's take a look at some of the big indexes. So you can see the NASDAQ here is hitting at a high and just pulling slightly back off it in the last couple of days, but it gapped up, not on great volume, but that's pretty good. Like, that's a good recovery for us. Okay. S&P 500 at an all-time high, at least earlier today. That's good stuff. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was our, leading one. This was kind of leading us down. You could see that lousy chart from the last several weeks. And then over this week, it's kind of had a little wedge pattern all the way up, back up over its 50-day moving average. So that's good. So kind of 3 out of the 3 are pretty good. Not awesome, but pretty good. And the same thing with the New York Stock Exchange, bouncing off the 50-day moving average and jumping back up and wanting to probably go test that 18,421. This one could go either way. This could go back down and test the 50 again. But right now it looks bullish. Good things happen over the 50, and they all look like they're in that area that they want to be over the 50. Okay. The volatility index is down, heading back down off of its mean bounce. So it bounced here off the mean, and it's bouncing down again. So that's really good. And then this is interesting. The Dow Jones transports are not really bouncing. And if people aren't moving goods, and that's in theory, according to the Dow theory, the Dow will stay down. But the Dow's gone up and the transports are kind of flat this week. I think that's interesting. The KBW NASDAQ Bank Index, though, pulled back on some news that 63 banks are in trouble and they might be dissolved. And that's probably good for the big banks, but it's not good for the banks in general. So keep an eye on that. It's right at the 50. All right. The Philadelphia Housing Index, though, gapped down today. And it's got a couple of little gaps on the chart, but it gapped down today. And I think it's going to go test the 655. It's not far from that right now anyway, so that's not a big call. But, with a gap down on that index, that means the housing market is getting a little impatient. The Fed is going to lower official rates. The rates are coming down a bit. I don't know if you saw Canada decrease their rates by 0.25% this week. And so rates are just naturally, the market's bringing rates down because things are slowing down in the market. So the market adjusts to that. The computer index, on the other hand, is doing just dynamite. This is the top performing index of the quarter. And it is just killing it. And so if you're in this stuff, with your NVIDIAs and your computers, your Dells, all these kinds of things, you're doing extremely well. And it's, these trends tend to stay in place for a while. Apple has, in the last month, gapped up on volume, on earnings, and it's doing nothing but going up and testing this 199.62 level. And when it gets to, and I just put a video out, I think it was yesterday, that if it goes to this 199.62 200 level, and it does it on some volume, which now we're maybe going to get a green market next week. If we do it and there's a lot of volume, I think we're looking at 220 or 240, 250, somewhere in there on that move up. This would be the triple top that it's had over the last couple of years, staying in this consolidation range. I mean, Apple's not exciting anymore. Their products are fine, but the stock is Apple. And so you don't want to doubt Apple. All right, so let's go to the next one, and the next one is, let me change the next one. Here we go. All right, the next one is Tesla. Now, Tesla's got what's going on. What's going on with Tesla is it's got a tight pattern. Okay, and let me see if I can draw this for you on the screen. So this little pattern right in here, come on. This little pattern right in here is what's called a tight pattern. And so a tight pattern is concerning, but it's only concerning if you're short, because a tight pattern generally means that the stock wants to go up, and they're not letting it fall below a certain price. So that's kind of good for Tesla. Couple more. NVIDIA, I think, is topping. I'm putting out a video today that says, you know what, going into the split, maybe it's time to kind of take some of your cards off the table on NVIDIA. There's a couple of gaps out here that it wants to fill. So be careful on NVIDIA. Super microcomputer, it's still kind of in a short-term downtrend. I've been saying for months now, it's going to go between 700 and 1200 as kind of this consolidation after it ran up from basically this breakout at 328, ran up to 1229, almost a quadruple. And now, you know, there's a lot of profit taking going on. So be careful in SMCI, but I don't think there's a lot to worry about, frankly, in SMCI, as long as AI stays intact, and I think it is. On semiconductor, above its 50-day moving average and trying to move to that 200, but not very convincing. And then let's talk about AMD, because AMD went down, scared everybody as it approached that 200-day moving average at 141, bounced off that, and now is above their 50. I think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave it at that. I think that you're getting a feel, and that's all I'm trying to do here every week, is give you a feel for what's going on in the market. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, go ahead and give me a subscription or subscribe or a like or a notification, something like that. Even make a comment if you like what I'm doing. If you want to see me analyze something in a different way, I'm happy to take a look at that, especially if enough people tell me either I talk too much or I don't talk enough, whatever. But I certainly want to help. That's why I do all this stuff, because I think that, we are the little guys and the big guys are the ones that are making all the money. And that's what's going on with GameStop. If you've seen what's going on with GameStop, you know that there's a little guy and a little movement trying to make money on the big guys and the big movement. So that's some interesting stuff going on with that. I wouldn't touch that if according to my stuff, I think it's just too risky. But a lot of people are making a lot of money, and a lot of people are losing a lot of money and doing it very quickly. Have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me. I will see you on the next weekly stock market update. Take care. Bye.